Gracious me!
What is going on, guys? TVM here. Welcome back to the Road to Glory, episode 89, and the footage in the background that you're watching is of Foot Champs, and my god, was it a weekend to test my nerve. This whole section, I think, is pretty much going to be me. I hate the word rant, even though it brings views. I hate the word rant, but I feel like it may very well be a rant. And it's, I think, everyone at this point now, even the people who are dedicated to FIFA and who won't, or they sort of refrain from saying bad things about it. I'm not necessarily talking about game changers, because they, or the majority of them at least, will try and keep their mouths shut because they don't want to lose their game changer privilege. I'm not saying all of them are like that, but there are a lot of them. But even the people who are just advocates of the game and who love the game and won't say a bad word about it, even they're starting to get fed up with it now. And I think it definitely needs to be said. This game is awful. There's no other way to say it. The game is terrible. And I don't know whether it's because... I don't know whether because it actually is terrible, or whether it's because... FIFA's always been terrible, but maybe because this year I'm playing more games than ever, and that's saying something, because like every year I play hundreds and thousands of games. This year so far I've played more. This was one thing that really annoyed me, right? And I want to talk about it before I even mention anything else. I've just given away a penalty. It doesn't matter because I'm a penalty god and I will save everything. But I'm really proud of that. I'm so good on penalties, and I think it helped me in this game actually. But no, it did, and I'll keep going to and fro this rant, right? But this game was fantastic. It made me rage more than anything, right? It really put me in a bad mood, proper bad mood. We managed to claw this back from being 2-0 up, I believe, something along those lines. Either way, it was 3-3, and I deliberately took it to penalties because I knew I could beat him on penalties. Okay, I missed that, but still, I can save them. I can't score them, but I can save them. As you can see, he scored twice. I've saved 2, and we save another one because I knew he was going down the middle. I can just tell where they're going, right? So if I can ever take anyone to penalties, I will do it because I'm very confident I can beat them. I won't win all the time, but I would say that I win about 90% of my penalty shootouts. If I ever give away a penalty in a game, it doesn't bother me as much because I still feel like I can save it. That aside, going back to my point, I've played more games this year on this account than I had done on the Road to Glory I did last year, and my sort of main reviewing account up until this point. Just on this account alone, and those two accounts combined, I've played more already on this one, and I've played more games on my other account than I have on this one. So yeah, I think it might be down to the fact that every other year I haven't played that much, so I don't really notice how bad the game is, but this year in particular, it is just god-awful. You name me, right, one other game in the world that you have to avoid playing at certain times of the day or on certain days because you know you're not going to get the same experience as if you played it on another day. What I mean by that is Sunday gameplay, right? And it might not be the same for you, but for me personally, and this isn't a mental thing, this is an actual thing that happens, and you can go back and have a look at every single weekend league performance that I've ever had. My Sunday performances are dreadful, and I rage more on a Sunday than any other day of the week. And the reason for that is because there are so many people playing Foot Champs because they were like, oh, now I've got to play, I've got to fit my games in. So everyone is flooding the servers. Gameplay starts to get a little bit too dodgy. Passes go all over the place. I mean, that happens in random games anyway over the weekend, but the games on Friday and in particular on Saturday are just fantastic. I love the gameplay. I feel really good playing it. I actually enjoy playing it. And yes, I rage. Even when I win, I rage. I'm probably one of the worst you've ever seen for rage. And I know you're like, no, you're not. Yeah, trust me, I am. The sheer number of expletives that comes out of my mouth when I'm playing this game is ridiculous. I was playing yesterday, and that game you just saw that finished 3-3 and went to penalties, my wife came home during that game. She didn't even say hello. She didn't even come in the room. She knows to stay away. And I'm screaming, I'm shouting, and I'm saying the most ridiculous words. I'd say them now, but I can't because of demonetization. But I just go for it, you know, and I'm screaming at the guy. And then I win, and I walk in the room, and I'm like, all right. And she's like, you calm down now? I was like, yeah, I won. I just get annoyed, you know, and it's no other game in the world does this to me, and no other game in the world do you have to sit down and say, right, well, I'm not playing. Sorry, I've got to pick my cat up. And this is a very informal episode. There you go. Her first appearance on A Road to Glory or any video, but it's very informal, you know. We're sort of family here on The Road to Glory. I can do what I want. That's my cat. My cat's tail. So yeah, it's just it annoyed me to the point this week where I actually tweeted, and I know it sounds stupid. Whoa, it actually sent him over the edge. He had to tweet. I tweeted, I don't know how much longer I can force myself to play this game. And that's what it is at the moment. I'm forcing myself to play Foot Champs in order to get Gold 3, to get player picks I never use, in order to go back into Weekend League to get Gold 3, to get player picks I never use. I'm literally forcing myself in a circle. And it's frustrating because if I was a casual gamer and I wasn't recording it and this wasn't my job, there is no way I'd be playing Foot Champs. There just isn't. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it to myself. Well, that's a lie. I may play till Silver 1 just to get automatic qualification, but for the most part, I wouldn't bother. You know, I would just play Rivals casually. Probably would do some squad battles because again, it's quite simple. It's relaxing to play against the AI on a lower difficulty setting. And again, career mode is something that I haven't touched this year, and I don't even think I touched it last year. But I used to really like career mode. But I just don't think it would do well series-wise, so obviously I don't record it. And if I don't record it, I don't play it because, you know, playing Weekend League burns me out for the rest of the week. The point of this is I'm not going to stop playing Foot Champs because as far as A Road to Glory is concerned, I feel like you need Foot Champs to make it exciting. Like, if I, on Thursday, didn't have player picks, didn't have 50k packs and 35k packs up the wazoo and all sorts of stuff you get from finishing Goal 3, Goal 2, etc., then it would be a lot less fun. And, of course, it would mean that I would need to hammer Rivals, and finishing rank 2 in Rivals would be a lot harder. Well, not harder necessarily, but it would feel like more of a grind. I'm basically transferring Foot Champs into Rivals, you know, and then Rivals becomes a grind, and that becomes stressy, and I don't rage at Rivals, ever. If I lose, I lose. If AIDS happens, I laugh it off, and it doesn't bother me. But in Foot Champs, where you know you've only got a set number of games, and I go through this all the time with you, if I go through a set number of games, that's a fantastic goal. And I know, I've lost one. You know, I've only got 22 left now, or I've lost another one. My record is now 14 and 10 or something. You know what a bad record is, and you know you just feel down on yourself, and it's just frustrating more than anything. The sheer just aids of this game, right? You know when it's against you, you know when it's with you, and you know when to try or not to try, essentially. I can't pinpoint specific games where I knew the game was against me. If you'd asked me at the time, I'd be able to tell you. But I can't now say to you, oh, this game was one that was against me. I probably would say it. But it's not like I'm just saying it about games I'm losing either. You know, I'm not just saying, oh, this game is AIDS because I'm losing, or this game is rubbish because I'm not very good at it. Like, if I'm not very good at a game or I deserve to lose a game, I would tell you, and I would be perfectly upfront and honest with you. And I think from now on, what I'm going to start doing is when I'm playing and I'm writing down the numbers to, you know, the minutes of things that have happened, I'll actually write at the end of it individual games like deserved to win, didn't deserve to win. And then when I go back and edit it through again, I'll actually have a look at my gameplay to see if I could have done something different. Because there are many an occasion where I will edit the gameplay and I'll think to myself, I'm going into editing it, right? I'm thinking, I 100% deserve to win this game, and I haven't won it. Let's edit. And I go through the edit, and I'm like, oh, I could have done that. Oh, to be fair, that was good football from my opponent. Oh, he did this, and he did that, and that's fair enough. And then I realise, oh, actually, you didn't deserve to win that. Not one game this weekend did I edit that I felt like I deserved to lose. Well, no, that's a lie. Not one game did I go into this weekend where I thought I'd been done over by the game, where I actually looked at it and thought, oh, actually, no, my opponent deserved to beat me. It's just clear to see that passes are not going the right way. My opponent is getting very lucky bounces, and it's not that this happens strictly to my opponent. I get it as well. passes for my opponents, sometimes you can tell they're not going the right way. There was one game in particular where everything, I think it might have just been the game that my opponent rage quitted 3-0. I felt so bad for him, and it might not have been that game, but it was one that we had a rage quit in, definitely. You could tell that everything he did was going completely the opposite direction that what he wanted to. He was making runs with players and playing it, and then the ball would go the opposite direction, and you could see he'd stop. He'd just stop playing because you could tell how annoyed he was getting. His shots were hitting the bar, everything I hit was going in, and I felt really bad. And you can't stop at that point and go, oh, I feel bad, I'll let him score a goal, or I'll go easy on him, because it happens to you. Next game, I'm going to go into one, and I'm going to get hammered because my players can't pass in a straight line. They need to sort this out fundamentally. I tell you what, if FIFA 20 came out and they said, we've updated the card design, the pack animations had a tweak, we've maybe added, we've tweaked rewards here or there, we've jazzed up the draft a little bit, but we haven't done anything massive. Do you know why? Because we fixed the game. Ladies and gentlemen, we have fixed gameplay. It's consistent. This is something else that happens a lot as well. I am doing absolutely nothing with Dani Alves. I didn't press a button. Dani Alves doesn't move. He runs into me and he gets a penalty. Do I care? No, I'm going to save it. I don't care that I concede penalties. I save them, right? But that's not the point. That's not a penalty in a month of Sundays. The referees aren't consistent. If FIFA 20 came out, yeah, he scored from open play. What of it? I saved the penalty. If they fixed the game and they made it consistent, and they basically just allocated more server space and everything that was required to make the game feel smooth throughout the entire weekend, no matter how many people are playing, then I'm happy. That's all I want. That is literally all I want. If we had this game again, but with a different skin, but the gameplay was consistent next year, that's all I care about. Even if I was still struggling to win games and my opponents were better than me and I was still finishing gold 3, at least if the gameplay is consistent, we can't have any complaints, because now that I've literally spent the last 12 minutes ranting about how inconsistent the gameplay is, there's something wrong. And it's not just me. Everyone feels it. I tweeted that out yesterday that I'm thinking, well, not thinking of stopping, but I'm having to force myself to play. And the sheer number of people who replied saying I had to stop ages ago because it's just broken is unbelievable. I didn't think that many people actually didn't play Foot Champs. I thought Foot Champs was just something that everyone did. But everyone who was answering was like, yeah, I had to give it up. Yeah, I had to give it up. Now, on the topic of that Roberto Firmino card, if you've seen the review earlier today and you actually watched it, you'll know that we did it. We gave up Handanovic and a few other players as well. Now, the reason I gave up Handanovic is because I was going to buy the 89 Handanovic. That may have changed, and I will get into that. We gave up the 86 Firmino. His price dropped massively. I hate giving up players with records like this, because I'd like to look back at the end of this road to glory and go, look at the records on these players. We've played 1,000 games with him. We've played 800 games with him. Look at the goal-to-game ratio, etc. But unfortunately, we have to give them up because they're just not good enough. That is the team that I am submitting. And there it goes. We are now the proud owners of an 88 Footmus Roberto Firmino, and we are going to get to see him walk out. The comments yesterday were mainly, yes, do Roberto Firmino because he's absolutely fantastic, and I concur that he is a great card. I'm glad I did it, and I did have a slight regret when I pushed the submit button, but I am very happy that I've done it. The only annoying thing that I had to do was submit Handanovic to get the rating up. I didn't really want to give up that Firmino, but it didn't make sense to keep him, and we had to give up Player of the Month Lucas as well. Could have avoided it, no problem whatsoever, but I ended up spending about 70,000 coins in total, which is nothing for that card. Okay, we gave up cards like Handanovic and Player of the Month and stuff like that, but coin wise we only spent 70k. We now have around 170,000 coins left to spend, and it's just turned 6 o'clock, so let's see what we've got today. So before we get into anything else, I just want to reiterate, right, I know I'm not the greatest at this game, and I know I've still got a lot of improving to do before I can start ranting at the game truly with any sort of real conviction behind me. I know a lot of the losses are down to just me not being good enough, and I understand that, but we all feel bad gameplay, and I, like I said, I'm more than happy to admit when I've lost and I deserve to lose. But half the time when I lose these games, it's just down to something really, really bad gameplay-wise. We've just had an update. I'm not quite sure whether it's come out on console yet. Apparently, they fixed some sort of latency issue when you've connected to someone with a bad connection. So hopefully that can fix some sort of responsiveness. The word responsive was actually in the update, so you never know. Haven't looked at Footmas yet. Gonna claim whatever they were. Think we've got a we've got a swap deal player to pick up, which is cool. We'll put that in the club. I think we've got enough now to get something decent out of this. Let's go over to the transfer list and get rid of that, just so that the number's gone. Sold a couple of the silver players from the pack that we got yesterday. I don't know what those two things are. I don't know what the hell that's all about. Now, so as you saw, it says claim your new items. And there's, great. Happy days. I'll sort them later. Nothing there, but whatever. You saw that I finished Gold 3. I played more games. As you can see, I had 8 games remaining. I actually had 10 games remaining when I hit Gold 3. But I played a couple more when I got the red Firmino, just to give him a try, get some footage. But the unbelievable thing about that is, even though I came up against 2 very good players who beat me comprehensively, I didn't stress once. I didn't feel any, I just didn't care, because I'd already hit Gold 3. It wasn't a big deal. If I'd won those 2 on the bounce, we would have finished Gold 2, but alas, we didn't. We had 8 games. I could have finished Gold 2. I mean, there is a slim chance I could have gone on to finish Gold 1, but we've packed Ronaldo from Gold 3 rewards. You can't tell me anymore to go for higher, because we packed the best reward you could possibly get from hitting Gold 3. I need to time manage better. If I can play more games on a Friday, more games on a Saturday, then I'll have more energy and I won't feel as much sort of negativity toward the game in order to play the rest of my games. Let's have a look to see what Santa has given us. Oh, we have an Iniesta, we have a Mario Balotelli. This will be interesting. Iniesta's 88. 4-star, 4-star, high, medium. Ugh, stamina. Just pointless. Absolute pointless card. Mario Balotelli, 85. Could have had better pace. Already has a Scream card, so I feel like that's a waste. Stamina is dreadful again, so there's no point. Reactions are terrible. Balance is awful. Agility is terrible. Nope. Not worth it, regardless of what they give you. And then we have a Kanji, which is a Dortmund centre-back, who, by the way, looks very good. No complaints there at all. Good short passing, decent reactions, reasonable defending. Could have better interceptions, but with a chem style could improve. Not a bad little card. And they are releasing a lot of low-rated Footmas Bundesliga players, aren't they? Well, maybe not Footmas, but there's a lot of reasonably good special Bundesliga cards out there. You've got that Akanji. We had what's his name, Gilavogui or whatever it is, the foot swap player last month. He was very good. You've got Delaney, who was in form. Is it this week or last week? He's a very good card. You could build a very nice, cheap, overpowered Bundesliga team. And I tell you what, that is a very good card. Medium is a bit annoying, but apart from that, that's a great card. I would definitely say that that's worth it. I mean, I'm assuming you're going to need an 83 rated team. What? Hang on a minute. What? What's going on? Oh, I'm well confused, mate. I think they've ballsed it up, haven't they? They have to have. An 84 rated team for Iniesta, which I'm so tempted to do right now before they fix it, and then an 85 rated team for that. You get some rubbish 25k pack. I'm so tempted to try and complete Iniesta. Are people saying anything about this on Twitter? Because that is mental. I didn't do the SBC for a Kanji. Could be the worst I've seen to date. There is no way. There cannot be any way that they've done that intentionally. That has to be a cock-up. In my opinion, it's meant to be 84 rated team for Akanji, which is still too expensive. An 84 rated team for Balotelli and an 85 rated team for Iniesta. That has to be it. I mean, I probably won't do that. He's trash. I was going to say maybe I should do it before they change it, but even an 84 rated team isn't good enough in my opinion. That is mental. I mean, that's a good card, don't get me wrong, but it's not worth an 85. I clicked on it fully expecting to see 83, but was sort of low-key maybe hoping for an 82. That's stupid. I mean, wow. Well, I was going to review one of them. I don't think I'll bother. I was hoping to get a Serie A player. I'm going to complete this. I was hoping for a Serie A player that I could do on the cheap, put him into the team and review him while playing rival games. That was kind of what I was hoping for. Didn't happen, and it's actually to the point where I don't think I'm going to review any of them either. Absolutely terrible. Premium Gold Players Pack for basically a gold squad, so give me 2 seconds and I'll be right back. Well, I literally just threw in a bunch of Argentinians and hoped for the best, and hey, there it is. 83 chem, 77 rated, all gold. Don't mind if I do. I'm not going to pack anything from this, as per, but hey, basically something for nothing, because we're going to get more rares than what we submitted. In fact, I don't think I submitted any, did I? I can't get over that. That has to be a mistake. They did this last year, by the way. Was it Marcus Rashford they did it with? There was a player who was not very high rated. It was like 82, 83 rated. And they overpriced him massively to the point where it would have cost you like 100 and something thousand to complete. And then the next day they overcompensated by making the next set of players extremely cheap because they're only up for 24 hours. They won't take it down or change it. They'll just leave it. And then the next day they'll make it extremely cheap to sort of counterbalance the stupidity. I can't imagine that they'll take it down and change it. So if they do, if tomorrow we log on and we see a lot of low rateds, then we understand why. But let's hope this 25k pack and hopefully pack Messi. If I was going to pack Messi, I'd kind of want it to be Wednesday, not now. But we're not even going to get boards from this. I think I've seen anybody get anything good from these Footmas packs, which is probably not surprising. We get Jamie Vardy in there. He's not too bad. Probably doesn't sell for anything anymore, but you know he's a good little player. We'll put him on the transfer list. You never know when you need an 82 Premier League player. A couple of other... I mean, let's be honest, it's basically a useless pack. I feel really bad about this episode. I feel like I've probably annoyed a lot of people with talking absolute nonsense. There was probably a lot of contradictions in there. But I felt like yesterday I was the worst I've felt through FIFA 19. I got so annoyed playing the game, and it made me sort of reevaluate a lot of things. I'm going to continue to play it because it's content and I kind of have to. But what I think I have to do is play as many games on Friday and Saturday as I possibly can before Sunday. If I leave 1 or 2 games for Sunday, or I leave the excess games for Sunday and then we just play and see what we get, then that's what's going to have to happen. But I need to try my very, very best to play as many games Friday and Saturday as I possibly can. I need to hit Gold 3 before we hit Sunday, is basically what I'm saying. I can't play through the night either. Playing through the night just infuriates me more. The one thing that really surprises me about this team is we still don't have a chem style for Ronaldo. You may have noticed, or maybe not. Yeah, no, you would have noticed through the back end of the gameplay. He's actually 77 now. I have changed his number, but he's not number 7. Goalkeeper-wise, I went and bought Chesney. Only played a couple of games with him. Nothing too crazy. Oh, no, that's Marquinhos. Only played a couple of games with him. He's decent, to be fair. I was going to get the 89 team of the group stage, or team of the tournament, whatever he's called, Handanovic. He sells for at 90k. And, of course, we've got enough money to do it. Would leave us with about 80,000. But what I wanted to do, and I didn't necessarily want to do it now, per se, but what I wanted to do was have a look to see how much the informed Chesney is. I think there's 2 variations. I know yesterday I saw one for 70 something. There's an 86. I'm sure there's an 87. I'm sure there was an 87. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there is only an 86. I'm pretty sure there was an 87 though. A lot of you are screaming, "No, you're wrong. It is only an 86." I need to look at Footbin because I'm not convinced. I swear there's an 87. And if there is, then he's gone up massively, and he was about 70k yesterday. which is a little bit annoying because I was very tempted to get him because he was absolutely fantastic for me, and for some reason I can't seem to get him. Yeah, there is an 87. There you go. I knew there was. So yeah, he was fantastic for me yesterday, that 84. Not better than Handanovic per se, but he was still a very good card. Now, there it is. I'm not spending 130,000 coins on that because he was 70,000 coins yesterday. So if I can get him for 70k, then I would consider it. What does he look like? He has not 190 rated stat, which is a little bit annoying. What does the Handanovic card look like? 89, team of the group stage, Handanovic. Yeah, so Handanovic has 90 reflexes, 90 positioning, which is better than that Szczesny. Szczesny has better kicking and more speed. Handanovic has one better handling and exactly the same diving. So a little bit off on the position and the reflexes, but everything else is either better or around the same. And they're about the same price, give or take. If I can get Szczesny... Tell you what, though, if I can get Szczesny for 80,000 coins, I would very much consider it. The only problem then is that we would be heavily reliant on Miranda, because if I do get Szczesny permanently and we switch him to Marquinhos, for instance, like the Inform or Thiago Silva or anything, doesn't get chem anymore. So having Handanovic there was helping a lot, because well, I don't really have another option, because yeah, no, there just isn't another option. So I don't know what to do, because then we're going to be tethered to Miranda forever because of Dani Alves. So I don't know what to say there, really. I think Szczesny is going to have to be a... I think we have to knock the idea of getting Szczesny on the head, because it just wouldn't work. I mean, it would work there until we switch Miranda, but I wanted to switch Miranda on Thursday when we get rewards. I'm kind of hoping that we get something Footmas related that we can switch. Maybe even if we get an upgraded Miranda to an 88 or an 87, then I'd be more than happy to take that, and I would get it, and he would slot in there, and that would be the end of it, and then I would get Szczesny. But if we don't, I don't know what to say. I don't know, I might have to... I'll just wait till Thursday. We'll keep trotting along with this for now, through the rest of the week, if we even need to play more games. I want to finish rank 2. I played a little bit more yesterday to try and get myself into rank 2 as much as I could. I might have to play a little bit, but I can't imagine I'd have to play a lot. I mean, I could push for rank 1, but I don't think the rewards in rank 1 are that much better, really. Untradables. You get 4 15k packs. That's the only difference. And I can't really be bothered to push all that for 4 15k packs. So, anyway, that's going to do it for today's episode. I'm not quite sure what will happen in tomorrow's episode, if anything. Because my plan originally was to get a Footmas card and to review it like in Rivals, and then obviously show you the gameplay of that. I do have some gameplay left over, so I may show you that and maybe answer some questions. If you guys got any questions, feel free to let me know. Didn't check icons, but there were no new icons, so hopefully tomorrow we get some. But if you have any questions regarding the Road to Glory, regarding the team, regarding FIFA, regarding anything, get your thoughts maybe on the whole sort of gameplay situation. Do you have the same feelings as I do, or do you just think I'm being a baby and it's because I'm losing that I'm moaning? Let me know in the comment section down below. If you have enjoyed this episode for some reason of the Road to Glory, then do me a favour and smack that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and until the next time, goodbye.